What if I told you that you're actually not bad with money at all? You're just exhausted. What if I told you that the hustle culture that we live in, the culture that tells you that you can't stop hustling until you achieve your goals, is actually holding you back from your full potential? Because burnout can lead to overspending, and prioritizing your rest isn't a lack of character or a lack of discipline. If you ever found yourself saying things like, "Ugh, why did I just buy that?" Or "Why do I keep spending money when I shouldn't?" I'm here to tell you that you're not alone, and this video is for you. Hi, I'm Gabby, and I started this channel back when I was on maternity leave, and I wanted to create a space for moms like me to find different ways to pay off their debt and just live a more financially healthy life. And no, I'm not a financial advisor or life coach or anything like that. But the more that I learn about money, the more that I realize that our mental health is very much connected to our financial state. And burnout is the perfect example of this because a lot of overspending isn't actually about money at all. It's actually about exhaustion, overwhelm, and emotional survival. And if you're a mom, especially if you're a new mom, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So in this video, we're going to break this topic down piece by piece to better understand what's going on internally and how it can empower us moving forward. So first, let's start by understanding what burnout really is. Burnout isn't just about being tired after a long day. It's emotional depletion, mental fog, and physical exhaustion all together. And burnout happens when you're doing too much for too long without enough rest in between. So your brain ends up getting stuck in survival and your decision making weakens. And even the smallest task can start feeling like you're trying to climb the world's tallest mountain. But here's the thing, when your brain is tired, it starts to look for anything for relief, even if it's for only 5 seconds. And that's when overspending comes in. So now the next question is, why does burnout make us overspend? So let's talk about the emotional and neurological connection between burnout and money. So first things first, burnout lowers your self-control. When you're exhausted, the part of your brain that is responsible for long-term planning, the prefrontal cortex, is slows down. And this makes it harder for you to control your impulses. Not because you're responsible, but because your brain is conserving energy wherever it can. And then tiny moments of dopamine becomes irresistible. And that sometimes can look like a coffee run, a new outfit, a random Amazon purchase. All those little decisions that may seem harmless, they're actually a quick hit of dopamine, which you probably have heard of by now. It's the quick feel good chemical in our body. So then your brain starts to associate spending with relief, even if it's temporary. And burnout can also create emotional gaps, and we may use spending to fill them. And that can feel like loneliness, stress, feeling like you're unappreciated, or feeling trapped. Money can often become a way to cope or soothe those negative feelings, and most people don't even realize it. Which leads me to my next point, which is decision fatigue makes overspending easier. When you're burnt out, decision making becomes exhausting. So you end up choosing the easiest option, even if it's not the cheapest. And that can look like ordering takeout instead of cooking, buying something because thinking of the alternative seems too hard, or subscribing to convenience because convenience starts to feel like survival. And then you try to reward yourself because you're running on empty. Burnout convinces you that you deserve something, and of course, you deserve nice things, but it starts to make you crave relief, validation, and obviously rest. So, if you can relate to any of this, then you can most definitely relate to this. Here are the four most common burnout spending patterns according to multiple articles. Number one, the micro escape shopper. These are small purchases like new clothing, or skincare, or even a Chipotle run. These are all small treats that act like emotional escape. Number two, the convenience spender. This is when you're too tired to plan, too tired to cook, and too tired to compare prices, and you end up choosing whatever is easiest. Number three, the comfort purchaser. This could be food, clothes, or home items. Anything that feels soothing, soft, or comforting. And last but not least, number four, the big reset buyer. This is when burnout hits so hard that you start to feel like you need to reset your entire life, like booking a fancy trip, completely renovating your wardrobe, renovating your home and buying new furniture, or basically anything that makes you feel like you're taking back control over your life. Well, if you're a human, you can probably relate to any of those four. So let's talk about how we can break that cycle. You don't need discipline, you don't need shame, you need restored energy. So start with compassion and not criticism. And start telling yourself, I didn't spend because I'm irresponsible. I overspent because I'm feeling overwhelmed. That one small shift from criticism to understanding makes all the difference. Then you can create a simple pause moment. Instead of forcing yourself to not spend, pause for 10 seconds and ask yourself, is this relief or is this support? Because relief feels like a temporary fix, but support feels like something that can actually improve your life. Then build tiny pockets of actual rest. Most overspending happens because rest can feel impossible sometimes. So start taking 5-minute resets, and that could be a quick walk, deep breaths, a quick meditation, a warm shower, or lying down for a few minutes. But whatever you do, make sure that it doesn't involve any sort of social media, because social media can sometimes add more stress and anxiety that can only fuel your burnout. Remember that burnout can sometimes arrive quietly, not from overworking, but from overthinking and overworrying. So when you do take those 5 minutes to rest, make sure that you're actually in the present moment. And now with your mind somewhere else, so worrying about what you're going to do next or where you need to be next. Then you can start making decisions early in the day instead of late at night. And that's because your brain's energy fades with time. So plan meals, tasks, and budgets early in the morning when you have the mental space. Then you can create a comfort list that doesn't involve spending. Those are going to be the things that you go to when you feel burnt out and overwhelmed instead of draining your wallet. It could be music, journaling, watching your favorite TV show, spending time outside, calling someone that you care about. Whatever that is to you, try to give your brain other options than spend your money to feel better. Then finally, replace shame with self awareness. So now, every time that you catch yourself in a burnout spending pattern, instead of shutting it down, remind yourself that this is a signal that you need to rest. It's not failure. Because sometimes the way that you spend your money is only trying to tell you what's hurting you. So I think that the lesson here is that burnout doesn't only drains your energy, but it also drains your clarity. And when you're exhausted, overspending is not a weakness. It's actually your brain trying to search for relief. But the great news is, the more that you understand these patterns, the more empowered you're going to be. So just the fact that you're watching this video right now, it's already a sign that you're taking the first step into the right direction. So be kind to yourself, be patient to yourself, and remember that healing your burnout usually heals your money habits naturally. And as always, thank you so much for watching to the end. I hope that you liked this video, and if you did, feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe, whatever you want to do. I'm here for you, and I'm sending you all the positive energy to ground yourself enough and listen to your body when it's telling you to rest. And I will see you at the next one.